Hey everybody, Richie Rich here. Today in this video, I'm joined with...
Hunchy Crunchy.
Yep,
What's
Hunchy
up?
Crunchy. Today in this video, I'm gonna be doing something called Ultimate Specs. Now what this is, it's basically a website where you pick like 3 different cars and you can compare like the stats, like the specifications, like what engine it is, what engine code, horsepower, torque, MPG, all this stuff, and the size of the engine, everything else, even the tires. In this video, I have picked 3 different cars, and so let me go over the cars I picked. So the first one I went for is the 1995 Nissan Skyline R33 GTR. The second one is the 1993 Toyota Supra Mark IV Turbo 3-liter, and the last one I chose is the 1995 Honda NSX-R. So let's go over the stats. So the Skyline and the Supra both have inline 6 engines, whereas the NSX, because it has the engine in the middle, because it's lighter, because it gets much more traction into the rear wheels, has a V6. Now the engine code for the R33 is obviously the RB26 DETT. TT is twin turbos. If it was DET, it would be single turbocharged. The Supra's engine code is 2JZ GTE. Now the NSX's engine code is, I'm just gonna search up engine code.
Well, what
yeah, it shows the modern NSX. You need the 90s one.
Price 150 pounds? 150,000?
150 grand for the modern NSX.
What the hell? That's a lot.
Alright. Okay, so doesn't look like they have the engine code for the NSX. I don't know, but they're all petrol, all fuel types. The fuel systems are different. The Skyline uses the EFI fuel system, Supra uses the MPI-Toyota CCS fuel system, and the NSX uses a Honda PGM-FI fuel system. The engine alignment for the Supra and the Skyline are longitudinal, whereas the NSX is transverse. In the engine position for the Skyline and the Supra in the front, NSX goes to the rear. So the engine displacement for the Skyline is 2,568 centimeters cubed and 156.7 cubic inches. That's for the Skyline. The Supra is 2,997 centimeters cubed, 182.9 cubic inches. And for the NSX, 2,977 centimeters cubed, 181.7 cubic inches. The bore for the Skyline and the Supra are the same, 86 millimeters, nearly 3.4 inches. It's 3.39 inches. Whereas the NSX, 78. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. That's for the stroke. I'm on the bore. The NSX is 90 millimeters and it's 3.54 inches. The stroke is for the Skyline 73.3 millimeters, nearly 2.9 inches. Supra 86 millimeters, 3.4 inches. The Honda 78 millimeters and nearly 3.1 inches. All 3 of them are 24 valve. The Skyline and the Supra are turbocharged, whereas the NSX is naturally aspirated. Compression ratio 8.5 for both the Skyline and the Supra. The NSX 10.2. Now the power output, the Skyline and the Supra, not the Supra, the Skyline and the NSX makes exactly the same power. 276 horsepower, which is the factory horsepower it was made. But the Supra, despite a bigger engine, like bigger liters than the Skyline, has 326 horsepower And the maximum power output for horsepower RPMs for the Skyline is 6,800 RPMs, Supra 5,600 RPMs, and the Honda 7,300 RPMs. The torque in Newton meters for the R33, 353, the Supra 441, the NSX 294. Now in pound-feet, the Skyline 260 pound-feet, Supra 325 pound-feet. Yeah, so the Skyline 260 pound-feet of torque, Supra 325, and the NSX 216. Maximum torque RPM, Skyline 4,400 RPMs, Supra 4,800 RPMs, Honda 7,300 RPMs. The Skyline is all-wheel drive, and both the Supra and the NSX are both rear-wheel drive. And the Skyline and the NSX are 5-speed, Supra is a 6-speed. They're all manual. They're all coupe, but the NSX is more of a supercar. So the wheelbase is 200 for the Skyline, 272 centimeters, 107.09 inches. Supra, 255 centimeters, 100.39 inches. NSX, 253 centimeters, 99.61 inches. The length, 467.5 centimeters, 184.06 inches for the Skyline. Supra, 451.5 centimeters, 177.76 inches. And 443 centimeters, 174.41 inches for the Honda. The width, 178 centimeters, 70.1 inches for the width of the Skyline. 181 centimeters, 71.26 inches for the Supra, and the same 181 centimeters and 71.26 inches for the Honda. So the Supra and the Honda both have the same exact inches, like the same width. Yep, pretty good.
Yeah.
Now the height, that's different. 136 centimeters, 53.54 inches for the Skyline. Supra, 127.5 centimeters, 50.2 inches, and for the NSX, 117 centimeters, 46.06 inches. Now the front axle, 148.6 centimeters, 58.5 inches for the Skyline. Supra, 152 centimeters, 59.84 inches for the Supra, and the NSX, 151 centimeters, 59.45 inches. Okay? That's the front axle. Now the rear axle, 149 centimeters for the rear axle for the Skyline, 58.66 inches, 152.5 centimeters, 60.04 inches for the Supra, and the NSX, 150 centimeters, 60.24 inches.
Hello.
What's up?
You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Me? I'm doing a video. I'm comparing the stats for like 3 columns.
Nice.
Oh yeah?
Now
Now the aerodynamic drag coefficient is 0.350 for the Skyline, 0.33 for the Supra.
No, man.
Yeah. And it doesn't say for the NSX because I believe it's the same for the front and rear brakes. Now the disc dimension, 324 millimeters, 12.76 inches for the Skyline, 323 millimeters, 12.72 inches for the Supra. That's for the front brakes. The rear brakes, 300 millimeters, 11.81 inches for the Skyline. The Supra, 324 millimeters, 12.76 inches. And I'm not sure about the NSX because I think they're the same. I don't know. Now the tires, the rims dimension is for the Skyline is running on 245-45 R17 tires for both the front and rear. And for the tires for the Supra, 235-45 R17s at the front, 255-40 R17s at the rear. The NSX, 205-50 R15s at the front, 225-50 R16s at the rear tires. The front wheel width for the Skyline and for the rear is 9 inches. For the front of the Supra, 8 inches. For the rear, 9.5. It doesn't say for the NSX. Now the curb weight, that's the important one. For a lighter car, it will go a bit faster if it has a little bit more power into it. Now, power for the, no, not power, we're not into that. Well, we've done the power, now we're on the weight. The curb weight for the NSX is for the Skyline I meant, is 3,373 pounds, which is 1,530 kilos. The Supra's weight, 3,560 pounds, which is 1,615 kilos for the Supra. The NSX, mainly because it doesn't have turbos and because the engine is mounted in the middle to improve traction, so it keeps the weight down from the rear tires, is 2,712 pounds, 1,230 kilos. The power to weight ratio for the Supra, 5.46 kilo for horsepower. The Supra, 4.89 kilos for horsepower, and for the NSX, 4.39 kilos for horsepower. Now, the trunk space for the Skyline and the NSX, it doesn't show. For the Supra, I think it's because they're like the same, I don't know. For the Supra, it's 185 to 317 liters. They all three of them use rack and pinion steering. Front suspension for the Skyline, both coil springs, multi-link. Supra at the front uses independent double wishbones, coil springs, anti-roll bars. And then the rear, multi-link coil springs, anti-roll bars. And for the NSX, used both for the front and rear, coil springs, double wishbones, and anti-roll bars. The performance, top speed for the Supra and the Skyline is both 155 miles an hour, which is 250 kilometers. For the NSX, it's a bit faster, 262 kilometers an hour, which is 163 miles an hour. 0 to 60 for both the Skyline and the Supra is 5 seconds. 0 to 60 for the NSX is 4.8 seconds. 0 to 100, all do 5.1 seconds. Acceleration from 0 to 400 meters, quarter mile, 13.6 seconds. Now the fuel, for combined, they do 26 miles to the gallon in the UK. In the US, they do 21 miles to the gallon. On the open road, 36 miles to the gallon in the UK. In the US, 30 miles to the gallon. The highway, 27 for the UK, US 23, and for the city, 19 for the UK and 60 miles to the gallon for the US. And they do the same exact range, 452 miles, 727 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yep. Now the fuel tank, that is going to be different.
Yeah.
So the fuel tank is, for the Skyline, is 65 liters, Supra 80 liters, and the NSX is 70 liters. Now, for the US gallons, the Skyline has a 17.2 gallon tank, the Supra 21.1 gallon tank, and for the Honda, 18.5 gallon fuel tank. In the UK terms, that is, for the Skyline, 14.3 gallons, the Supra 17.6 gallons, and for the NSX is 15.4 gallons.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If you were to choose one of these cars, which would it be?
Oh no. I'll just choose the nicest looking one, to be honest.
Which one out of these three?
I think the Nissan Skyline.
The R33?
Skyline looks good. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I'll choose that.
Hell yeah. It looks pretty good. Like,
yeah.
If I were to choose one of these three, I would go with, like, I like the Skylines. They're pretty good. And the Supras as well. I would choose like two. For going on the track, I would use the NSX. For on the highway, or motorway, I would choose the Supra. Or if I'm like going like to drag racing, I would use the Supra. But for like just normal cruising, I would choose the Skyline.
What's I've got your camera.
I'm just doing this video, brother.
I'm just still like,
Have no rest.
yeah. Just,
I would.
I'm the collaboration guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
I'm collabing with him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I would have choose the NSX because it's much lighter. But since I've always been an RB person, like a Skyline guy, I would choose the R33 or the R34. All right.
I'm telling you, man,
Okay.
get yourself a Yaris. Right
No
away.
way!
Yeah.
No way! No way! Hell
Yeah.
no!
Subaru.
Fucking
Impreza
buzzers.
WRS.
Get yourself a fucking buzz.
Bullshit. I mean, Subarus are cool on the Evos. If I were to choose one of those two, I would choose the Evo.
Nah.
What do you mean though? 4G63 engine compared to the Boxer's box.
Impreza all the way.
Oh yeah, I would choose the Boxer for rallying,
Yeah.
but I would choose the Evo for like drag racing because all-wheel drive it beats rear-wheel drive. Like because for all-wheel drive you get like much more traction from the all four wheels and it works for all of the wheels. It gets them working. For the rear wheels, they only work for the rear wheels. So you get a little bit less traction like off the line. But if you have bigger tires, it will improve bigger traction.
146.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, I hope you guys enjoy the
Hey, yeah. It's my video.
Right.
I'm there.
I'm out of here.
Alright, go. Alright, guys. So that will be it. So I've done Asian, Japanese cars.
One video for
Dude.
the rest of this year.
Hey, I've got more coming up. So that's
I'm not popping up in any more with actually, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Alright, so that will be it, guys. That's Asian cars done. Now I will be.
Cars.
Yeah, I'm doing
Okay.
I'm doing 3 different types of cars.
Oh, okay.
So I've done Asian cars. Next up, I'm gonna be doing European sports cars, and afterwards I'll be doing American ones. So yeah, that will be it for today. Hope you guys like this video. If you do, like the video and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys think. And yeah, and stay tuned for my next video, which will be on European cars. So hope you guys like this video, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.